Hey guys, it's time for a special installment in the Oral Skills course from Dr. Carter to you. This is transcription project number 1. And what we're going to do today is talk about what it is to take a recording and a little bit of some graphic formatting that I'll give you, and put ourselves to the task of, as best as we can, according to the way we hear it, codify, especially in this case, the pitch content of a tune or a performance of a tune as we're going to use here today. I've often said transcribing is the best educational tool for a musician to have. When you figure out what makes tunes tick, especially tunes that you like and intrigue you, there's no better teacher than not only finally realizing what the musical product is with some confidence that you've gotten it right, but the process of getting better at estimating what makes the music happen. In this case, like I said, mostly the pitch content. We'll probably do some transcribing of some other things on other assignments, but for this one, it's all about the pitch. We're not worried about the rhythm, and today's tune is "They Can't Take That Away From Me," the George and Ira Gershwin tune, as it's performed by the inimitable Billie Holiday in 1937 with the Count Basie Band. So what you'll need to get started on this is to go to your Blackboard course. I'll show you how we're going to do that. Once you open up the course, just go to Content, and you can see in the Oral Skills handouts for the semester, you can see the Billie-Gershwin transcription assignment cropped. All right, and that's going to look like this when I get that, right? And then you're going to need the recording as well. So I put that in recordings for Oral Skills work here, and feel free to download this and put it on a player you may need to. All right, and you may also want to have an instrument of reference. I've got a keyboard, as you can see here, with a little bit of a visualizer here. So when we start to figure out what makes the melody of this tune, it might be good to use a pitch referencing instrument. But first, let's open up the recording and take a little listen to the first segment of it. I can just double click on this, I believe, and when it happens, I will get this kind of situation, and then I can just play it right from Blackboard. After the clarinet plays the hook head, and really singing over this.
The way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just
She's into verse 2 here of
the way you
3-verse with a bridge section. This is also known as AABA for 32 bar form.
My dreams.
The most common form in the American song.
No, they can't take that away
20s and
from
30s,
me.
but today, here's the
We
bridge.
may never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still, I'll always keep the memory.
Maybe a couple of places where I don't have the lyrics quite the way she
The
sings
way
them.
you hold your knife.
Certainly you'll notice that issue is
The way we dance.
not only her liberties she takes with pitches, and that's what we want to get at.
The way you changed my
Liberties she
life.
takes with syllables.
No, they can't
There should have
take
been
that
a note
away from me.
Feel free to modify this.
No, they
you hear it
can't
differently
take
than
that
what
away from me.
One of the things you're going to notice a lot of the time as you hear this is is her adding syllables, extending syllables. So the layout of what I've given here doesn't do it justice or won't make it convenient in some places, but for the most part, it's a good general layout. So I'd like to just say, there you go. You're on your own. Crawl through the woods. You should be fine. But I'll tell you a little bit more and get you started with a few notes here. The tune's in B flat major, as you may be able to hear, right? And the way you wear your hat, the way she sings it, right? It's probably just like you'd see in the real book, the way George probably penned the notes, except for a few places, right? And Billy is notably a stylist that takes pitch and alters it, sings on the flat side of notes a lot of the time, bends notes, of course. That's what makes half of what she does so attractive sounding to me. And when we go back and hear the front of this one more time, let's start to think about what makes up the way you wear your hat. I'll let Billy sing that. That would be a lot better, wouldn't it? Alright, so let's hear the beginning again. Kind of get ready to get into action here. You can stop it after one note.
The way you wear your hat.
Stop it after,
The way you sip.
After two notes. Obviously, this isn't a fast process, right? It's not meant to be. It's meant to focus you on the nitty gritty of what the things are. If you can hear accurately, remembering back after hearing a whole phrase or even a whole section, good for you. I often have to press the pause button after one or two or three notes. I know this piece well enough now to know that, when I hear it, I hear the way you wear your hat. And although if I were to play it very straight and emulate what probably is in the score, it would probably go, scale degrees. 1, 3, 5, 1, 1, 1. It just outlines the one chord. And the way Billy sings it, it's got a little bit more to it than that. Let me make this a lot bigger so when I write on this, and boy, it's not ideal the way I write with my little Ultimate Pen here. When I go to the Ultimate Pen and I try to estimate what happens here, and I hear myself going, the way. I know the main note is D, or scale degree 3. 1, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3. I might want to put in a grace note to indicate that there's a little something more happening there, right? So pick a color that works well for this. Put in my blue ink right here. Give me an Ultimate Pen. Colors are good. Let's see here we go. There we go. Oh, so I'm just going to put in the skeleton of it. The way you. Now she's not actually singing in this range. The 8 I have here indicates that it's sounding down an octave. All right, but it's really convenient to write it up an octave so that you don't have to use as many ledger lines. The way you, and then I want wear your hat 3, maybe D's in a row, right? That's all, by the way, an upbeat to what happens to the very downbeat of the first bar. I should have maybe a bar line here. 1, E and a 3, E and 1, so 2, E and a 3, 4, boom, something like that. I think it's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and then this will be the downbeat of really the first bar where the kick drum and the band comes in with a solid 1 chord right there, right? We hear that underneath that. Let's listen one more time and make sure those notes sound good, and let's listen for any modifications of what we hear there. Bring this over here so I can still see my notes.
The way you wear your hat.
Certainly your hat is right on the D. And maybe this one is accentuated, but she does swoop, I think, to the D on the syllable way. The way. And there's much bigger and more prominent swoops later on, but I just want to get you to identify them.
The way you wear your hat.
So if I want to put a grace note for way, you wear your hat, I could easily get the pen tool back out here. Hopefully this is going to work. And I think she swoops to it from underneath, as she does most of her decorations, right? And now I'm using this pen that's really bulky. And yes, the page is it's really tight anyway. Just try to be neat. And how do you make a swoop to a note? You draw a stemmed and flagged note and you put a line through it, meaning it's not a real note. It's just a decorative, we'll call grace note, right? And then maybe phrase to it like this. Whew. Well, it gets globby. And then maybe check to see if it sounded about right.
The way you wear your hat. The way you sip your tea.
There on T. Right? There's definitely some. The way you sip your tea. Like that, right? Get the writing back here. Yeah, and it's on the way you sip your tea that she really gives that swoop. This over here, separate. Here, you might want to use a better interface for the audio playing other than a Blackboard window. I should probably pull this up on iTunes. The way you play your hat, the way you... And she goes... Right? So there's like a whole dive off of the note T, and she gets there.
The way you sip your tea.
And there's 2 ideas that you want to consider when you hear you sip your tea. What note does she get to, and what note does she imply? So sometimes there's notes that are implied in either the singing or the playing you hear that you probably should notate. And it sounds like she wants to dive down to, as we know it's a part of the 5 chord here. 1 2 1 2 2 2 2 something. Well, what else would be in the 2 chord that would fit with her melodizing of it there? You can hear it goes from 2 down to 5 like that. If she doesn't actually get there, you may want to turn this up really loud and listen closely, or get that app called the Super Slow Downer. Just do a Google search and you can find a way to kind of make the notes happen a lot slower. Boy, for really fast melodies that you might consider, this could be really helpful. Got a few seconds left here. So for T, I would put the C, then swooping down to the F here. The way you sip your... And that concludes what we're going to be able to do for this video for guiding you on transcribing Billy's They Can't Take That Away From Me. Good luck.